The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Monday Live. I'm the big guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me. Ryback TV on YouTube, Ryback Rules on Twitch, Periscope at Ryback, Instagram, and TikTok, the big guy Ryback 22. I thank all of you guys for joining me here as streaming and recording on all platforms. Spit it out, Junior. Platforms, all podcast platforms, wherever podcasts are played. What are some podcast platforms? iTunes, Android, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I don't know what the other ones are. Podbean. We're everywhere. So, great Monday. I just got done filling up the old hot tub. Had to order a new filter, clean it all out, pressure wash it. Had to go get gas for the pressure washer and clean that all out. What else did I got that going? And I had just had a performance meal a little bit ago. Broke up more scar tissue. Great day of conditioning over at EOS Fitness. I went there. I like to go out shooting there about every once in a while, twice a week. They have a Jacob's ladder, in which today I was actually able to really increase what I did last week. I did 5 rounds on Jacob's ladder, 1 minute rest between rounds. I started off at 60 seconds and then went to 70 seconds, 80 seconds, 90 seconds. And my final 5th set was 2 minutes straight on Jacob's ladder. And then quick recovery. And I go, am I going to go do the elliptical or do I want to do a little more before the sauna? And I go, I'm going to do the assault bike. They had the assault bikes there that are a little different, a different brand than mine. So I did 2 rounds of a Tabata of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for eight sets, 2 rounds, 60 seconds rest between. And then went and did 22 minutes in the sauna. I was going for 30 and I was just tapped out. I got to go get cleaned up after this. I've just been going. I made my food, like I said, did the hot tub, and but it was a great day. One of the workers there even goes, he goes, how much do you do over on that Jacob's ladder? The machine, those are always empty, by the way. I think they're very intimidating machines because I'll say I've seen them before in there, and I was like, oh man, what's that contraption? That thing looks crazy. And it's like now it's becoming one of my favorite conditioning tools because it also requires the skill of using your, like climbing like just a little orangutan, a monkey, but you got to keep your feet going. And I never even thought about it before, but it wouldn't be all that difficult to like kind of stumble on this thing and like really embarrass yourself. And I was doing it today. I go, man, I think the reason why people don't do this that often is because it requires like pretty fairly decent balance and I think athleticism of the timing. And I say that, and I'll probably eat shit next week. But it was, I was wondering as I'm doing this, I go, oh, I could see people having a hard time doing this. Because, you could actually increase the speed a bit on it, but it's really, you got to get in a good rhythm and groove. And I could go fairly decent on it, but it's one speed, like as far as, I believe it goes based off of how fast you can go on it, and it adjusts with you. And so it's a really cool device, and it tests you in a little different way. So I like having that in the arsenal with everything. And we're going to go ahead and throw Gabriel out of the game here. I thank you for attending, Gabriel, but you're fucking out of here, pal. What do we got going on, guys? Good to see all of you. As always, this podcast is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, available on feedmemore.com. Premium supplements sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No artificial sweeteners, no artificial colors. Vegan friendly for men and women. Guys, premium supplements. Changing the game. #hungry. Feedmemore.com. As always, you can save 20% on Feed Me More Nutrition. From watching this show, discount code Ryback Show 20. Man of Steel, good to see you, my man. Always good. I'm really worried, Man of Steel. I always look forward to seeing you and Ricky Scurvy in here. And Ricky is just gone. Yeah, coordination was the word I was looking for. Athleticism, I think, can be applied, but coordination is the word. Thank you. It requires, I think, a decent level of coordination. We got a super chat coming in already. Let's go ahead and the super chat. The dude 087. Hey, Ryback, I just purchased your Wake Up Limited Energy. It doesn't have the calorie count on the bottle. How many calories are per scoop? My friend, it doesn't have a calorie count because there are no calories. Intermittent fasting safe, keto safe, 0 calories. You could actually consume it while fasting and it will not break a fast. It is one of the only pre-workouts out there that won't break a fast. But there's no calories in it, my friend. So, but stay. I was going to say scoop away within the no more than 1 scoop per 24 hours. The stuff is kick ass. Dustin, thank you very much, my man. You're going to enjoy that gym bag. I use these lifting straps when I go a little heavier on traps and on deadlifts, and these straps are really nice too. I've snapped some wrist straps in my day, and as recently of this year, and these ones have yet to snap on the big guy. I will say though, some of my straps that I've had have been pretty beat up and fatigued over the years. So, and I got like a whole case of these now here. The great part about having your own supplement company is that I just have a bunch of stuff sent to me, and I like way more than I need. But I'll sometimes. I do very odd marketing strategy. I'll sometimes leave a workout towel at the gym just to leave it and to see like somebody's like, hey, man, I'm pretty sure probably most people throw it away. But you never know. You get that one fan that finds it like, yes, feed me more nutrition. Or Ryback, I got his towel, or like leave the lifting straps behind sometimes, because I feel like the lifting straps, people keep those. I got the new black shaker bottles. We're waiting for those to be delivered. We don't know they're waiting for it to clear customs. Customs are like taking forever, and FedEx can't pick it up yet. I'm waiting to get like when the hell's customs going to release my 50 boxes of shaker bottles. This is big guy problems that I deal with daily, but the COVID ruining everything. Some random dude says, first of all, before I will say yes. Guys, I heard the news about Paul Orndorff, and I made a post about it, and I send my condolences to him, his family and friends. Paul, it's unfortunate, and I wasn't even aware that his health was even worse over the past however long. And after I saw the stuff today, I saw that. I actually got to share a bus ride during WWE, and I saw Paul. He was at several things while during my time in WWE, like Hall of Fame stuff, and we sat next to each other on a bus ride over to the Hall of Fame once. I remember I sat by him once. I sat by Ricky Steamboat once. I think I was by Ricky on this particular one, and I believe Paul was right next to us. The back and to the other side where he was right next to us. And but Paul, I saw him at a show years ago, and he gave me a hug, and he just said thank you for talking about the things that you talk about. And I remember it was a pretty cool moment. So it's one of those things where I know the things that I talk about in times and wanting the wrestling to be better for the wrestlers and people like him. And as you get older, and it's unfortunate. And I know he was involved in some stuff against WWE, and man, rightfully so. You guys don't, a lot of the people you don't, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent on this but it's just unfortunate that the businesses from that company on a lot of things with a lot of talents, and who were a big part of our childhood and big part of that brand being what it is. But I know hopefully everything he's in a better place and not in pain anymore. And it's just crazy. It's like, you never like waking up and seeing anything like that. But you know, it seemed like his health had declined, and you really feel for the family and friends, and they're the ones that were really, really close and connected. But, I'd imagine just the pain alone and that being over, and just, just remembering him and his career. And he was, a key part of the business, and you could see by the people that post about him and whatnot. So, but he was always very nice. And, like I said, it was really cool for someone like him to for me, it was really cool when he said that to me. And it's crazy because Vader was on that show, and I remember seeing Vader, and I was all messed up. This was when I was getting ready to start my stem cells, and I actually was supposed to wrestle on the show, and I didn't. And but I remember seeing Vader, and his health was really bad. And but he was getting all geared up in the hallway. And I just remember like walking around and like thinking like, man, why is the business like this? Like why, but it's like, cause Vader had no business wrestling, but he was. And there were some other guys, and you go, why? And the why is because typically financially, and it's just crazy, man. And but I feel like I needed to see a lot of that to kind of have that drive to keep speaking, because it's not just about me. And it never has been on a lot of that. It was what I went through and things and the treatment, and it screwed up, and I'm just the wrong motherfucker to do it to, because it was beyond personal. And but I believe I was meant to be around those guys, and to see that. So, but Paul was man, rest in peace, and he was Mr. Wonderful. So let's see, we got some more questions here. And also the other question was was I considering going to UFC? No, I don't know. Like, you guys, I don't think I just know people just don't understand anything with what's going on. And I try to explain it, and I talk to you. I'm very vocal. There's people that are hurt that don't talk about their injuries because they're afraid to let people know they were hurt. I was able to wrestle hurt. I could still wrestle. I made the decision I'm not going to be fucked up and let my body go to shit. I'm going to keep my body intact, and I'm not going to end up in a wheelchair and with a shoulder replacement. So this has never been done before. I can't stress that enough. So I don't care what you think about me. I don't care. The work that goes in every day, and the pain of forcing my shoulder in the cracking of the scar tissue that doesn't want to crack, right, is something that nobody will ever understand. And how many people, so I'm just going to give you, and I'm just going to comparison. How many people get bad shoulders, get arthritis, they have to retire, they quit, they get out of shape, they stop trying. You know why? And this is almost everybody that has a bad shoulder, that to this degree, they give up. They go on pain medicines, and I'm not judging them, but there's a reason. It sucks. I chose not to do that. It's not who I am. I have a lot left in the tank. Like, I'm not even close. But it's been the most strenuous, difficult thing I've ever had to overcome. So, like, when you guys, and I'm going to go back and do what I do. Like, it's not just like, oh man, I think I'm going to go start a career in UFC. Like, it was like all the crazy, shitty Bellator talk. I was never once. They could have offered me $10 million. I wasn't doing it. There would be no way in hell. I was so physically bad. There would be no point. I would be in such jeopardy for my health that I just like, but I wanted to see what are they going to offer me? Sure, go ahead, talk to them. I never talked to them. Let the other guys, sure, see what they'll offer. I was curious. I want to know what they thought I was worth to come in there, but I was never going to go do anything. I couldn't. I needed a 5-disc fusion and shoulder replacement. But people don't, God forbid you're just honest with people and talking, and then people still, it's like, oh, you want to go to UFC? No. I got another question here. King Sager says, hey, 94 big guy, just want to say, when you and Axel went separate ways, despite he was a heel and you became a face again, it was the best breakup in history without turning on each other. Loved it. Thank you very much, man. That was, I believe we filmed that in, it was either Buffalo or Albany. I believe it was in Albany. I believe it was Albany, New York. And I came back after my groin injury, and they put me back babyface, feed me more Ryback. I'll never forget Joey Mercury came up to me that day when my first day back, and he goes, "You're back," and I go, "Yeah, I'm here." He goes, "No, you're back," and I go, "Yeah, Joey, I'm here. This is my first day back." He goes, "But Joey Mercury, I love Joey. Joey was excited. He goes, "No, man, feed me more. It's back." And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You're back babyface." And he's like, you're debuting against Bo Dallas tonight. And I go, "Shit, I got to go look up how I did my entrance." I forgot I hadn't done the energy entrance. I had to go back and watch just to make sure. I go, "Shit, I'd given up on ever thought I was ever going to do that again." So I was like, "Oh, I guess my punishment's over for the time being." And then it started on a whole other level of dangling the carrot. But that night it was on .com. And I don't know if I don't know if they came up to me or it was one of our idea. We literally did it in one time. I'm not even making this up. We did it in one take on the fly. On the fly. That's how good me and Axel were together on just bullshitting. Like the way that we talk in that, me and Axel would just do that backstage randomly and go into like little random skits. And we did a lot of stuff on .com that never, like, if we could have done Ryback on all the .com stuff on TV with entrances and had promo time, and we did stuff. Don't get me wrong, we did a lot of pay-per-views still, whether it was pre-show or on the pay-per-views. But we never, like, TV was always, we sometimes we'd be used. They'd give us a few quick wins to go to a pay-per-view, and then like just random things. But like that was a period, New Day, was it New Day? Or was it before? That was prior New Day, maybe, where it was Big E and Kofi and Woods, and I think they hadn't even been New Day yet, or maybe they even were. I don't even remember, but I remember like Cody and Dustin and Goldust. We were like, there were a lot of guys, really talented guys, that they weren't doing a ton with. It was a weird period, and but man. That breakup, it's on YouTube. If you probably YouTube Ryback or Ryback's breakup, and it was a lot. That was a cool, funny thing. I wish that could have been on TV, man. I think a lot of our skits backstage, the writers and people would be laughing and in tears, and it was what it was. I had a great time doing it, but I appreciate you recognizing that it was we didn't turn on each other. It was just, hey, Axel wasn't as good as politicking as I was, as the story. That was always the rib. The rib was with us too. Was I always joked it was that was legit my punishment period of whatever Punk and Heyman, like all that shit, like with Punk. There was some weird shit going on behind the scenes that I never got involved in, and I was just like, whatever. And but it was always, the joke was, I go that I was put with Axel to teach him how to get over, and then I would bust his balls over. And I was like, I'm here to teach you how to get over, and then Axel's like, I'm here to teach you how to work, and that was always our running rib with like just bullshitting and having fun. I love that guy, such a great guy. Super chat. Hey, big guy from Boston originally, but deployed somewhere right now. Always great to have Wi-Fi and tune in when able. Semper Fidelis. Hey, buddy, man, thank you very much. I hope you're taking care of yourself and staying well mentally and physically. And thank you very much, man, for everything and that you do. And I hope you and your family, and look forward to when you get back to the States, man. Stay positive, and I appreciate you tuning in. And it's cool, the technology we have, and the ability to connect. I think it's truly one of the positives with all the social media. Thank you very much, buddy. Let's see. What else we got going on? We got another question here. Ryback, I just subscribed. Thank you very much. But I have a question. If you could pick one dream match in WWE, who would it be against and what would the stipulation be? One dream match in WWE. You know what I think, and this is, there's a lot of guys, and from a wrestling, I think from a pure storyline standpoint and the way things, I think it would, the easiest built-in story would be to be a Bill Goldberg retirement match. I think that would be a draw. And I think if it was me in that match with him, that would have a lot of eyeballs on it if done right in the game. But that's never happening. This is couch booking. What's the damn football analogy? Somebody give it to me. I don't even. Armchair quarterback is what I was thinking of. Thank you. Nobody even said it, but I just remembered it for the people listening. Came around. Let's see. Thank you for responding to my thoughts about the breakup. Appreciate your side of the story you just told. Have a good one, my man. Have a great workout. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, we just talked about the Paul Orndorff stuff, guys, when we kicked off the show. If you go back on all of that. Thank you for buying the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner. Then it's our best seller. The stuff, it works. If you just, I tell people, if you look at the ingredients and actually do an Amazon search for the individual ingredients, I know back when we did it years ago, it was like over $120, $130. I don't know if that's gone up or come down a little bit, but we truly give you more value. Let's see. Sam, thank you very much for purchasing the Shell Shock as well over in the UK. And yeah, as long as, man, you guys, the stuff works, especially like when you really follow a diet and work out. It is a great thing to have in your tool chest, and it will help. I promise you. And this is all stuff that I've used since my 20s on a lot of these formulas on this. And I'm truly passionate about all this. It's not bullshit. It's not hype. The stuff works. But I always say, like, if you don't have good habits and you think just popping supplements are going to fix your problems and you're not willing to change, I don't want you to buy them. Like, don't waste your money. You need to fix your diet and start training. You got to get that in order if you want, and then you want to go to the supplements and for a little boost. That's where they really work. Too many people will buy a fat burner or something. And, there's certain ones like the sleep aid. You don't have to. That's something you don't have to do anything for that. There's certain ones that, the wake up unlimited energy, you take that, you're going to get energy, but like things like the fat burner and stuff, or the protein powder, add more protein, but you're not really training and things. And you're like, well, and you think you're going to like turn into the Incredible Hulk. People, they have unrealistic expectations times. You have people that will buy fat burners though. And I see it all the time. And then they start eating worse and they don't do anything. And they're, I'm taking this fat burner. I'm on steroids and I could do anything. I could just be a piece of shit and I'm just going to get ripped like Ryback. No, it's not going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen. So. Fix our food. We fix our mood, guys. That is the theme. #hungry. We got to have a mindset, a growth mindset, a hungry mindset of wanting to be better. It is our duty and obligation to be our best. Let me go ahead and explain this for you. So if we do not try to be our best, if we just give up and we just say, you know what, I'm just going to be a lazy piece of shit for all my life, I give up. That is, you are not serving yourself or your family, your friends, or anybody, because it is our duty and obligation to be our best and to strive to work hard and for financial freedom. We live in a modern day slave system. The more we have, the better our ability to take care of those that we love. At the very least, that is why we should strive to be better. Don't care about yourself, but you want to be able to take care of your dog. Well, if something happens, you need money for that. But if you're not living to your best life, you might not have that option, right? I learned that a long time ago from successful people. I go, that makes enough sense for me. Protect the things that we love. Let's see. What else we got going on? Appreciate everybody on Instagram and TikTok tuning in. Yeah, I actually just sent a message to my fulfillment company on getting brain feed and the 1-2-3 muscle joint tendon formula and the caramel cookie plant powered iso hungry on Amazon. They were supposed to put that order in weeks ago, and I've reminded them twice, and I just sent another one. Like, what's the deal with this, guys? Like, you're my seller on there. Let's get this going. So I'm hoping they get back to me here tomorrow, and because I got to talk to them about something else anyways. So it's I'm hoping here they put the order in this week and we can get those listed, because I got the other stuff going. The shell shocks up there. We're dealing with it really is crazy. I've faced a lot of restrictions with the supplements, because like Amazon, they're not the reseller. We have to change the wording. They like, you're not allowed to actually use the word fat burner, even though the ingredients that we use are clinically proven, research proven supplements that increase metabolism, that burn body fat. But there's so many bad supplements out there that make those claims with ingredients that don't do it. And so it's everything gets put in one big group together. So now, but the word weight management is allowed. So they have these weird rules that this is all new. And like with Facebook and Google, there's all these crazy advertising. Even the testosterone booster, not allowed to advertise that through the things. So I may even have to look into changing the labels to be able to be advertiser friendly, so that I can market them even better online. Even though the supplement actually boosts testosterone and is blood test proven, because it actually works, but there's so many that don't. So it's that's certain things, and I have to stay on top of, which the shell shock, I think, is we might be dropping the extreme fat burner name on it, and you just might call it extreme burner, because just an extreme burner / weight management, because that is the wording that they're allowed. These are like Vince rules with Bezos and these people that I go, but this is how people search for products. There's a reason why we use these words, because people search for them based off this. Like, if you want to, that's the term people know for fat, losing fat burner. It was what I came up with. And I go, it's just crazy. But so we're dealing with that with Amazon, so we could actually advertise my product on Amazon and get it to the top listing. And so they're redoing the wording on everything. And but these are just regular everyday stuff that I deal with. Yeah, I did enjoy the Hall of Fame ceremonies. I wasn't a fan, though, of the timing of them. I always found them to be a bit stressful, in the sense that because it was oftentimes they use all of us for autograph signings. So you'd be doing it like me. The last one I ever went to, I was completely drunk at. Me and Dolph had to do an autograph signing, and we had to go to the signing in our Hall of Fame. Wait, what did we? No, that was another one. That was the year prior. We went to the autograph signing, and then they had a car for me and Dolph from the signing that took us back to the hotel to go get our suits, to go throw our suits on. So while we did that, me and Dolph decided, let's go get well, this was my second to last one, because this was the one in San Francisco, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We went to the bar while the car's waiting outside, and we just started having drinks. Because we both didn't give a shit at this point. Things were already. This is one of my favorite memories. Like, me and Dolph get along so great. So they have the driver outside. We'll be right back. We got to go get our suits. So the driver's expecting it to take probably a little bit of time for us to go in and get cleaned up real quick and get our suits on. But I mean, you could do that pretty quick for guys, especially. And so we do that, and then we go straight to the bar, and we just start we order shots, and then we're sipping on drinks, just taking our sweet ass time. And then we got shots to go. They gave us shots to go and drinks to go. And then we got in the car. We're like, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. And they don't care. And then they take us to the Hall of Fame, and we're already loaded. And then we're at the Hall of Fame, and then we go to the back because we had to piss multiple times. And then we go in the back, and we happened to go in the back when Arnold was there. And I have the photo of me, Arnold, Broski, Broski's dad, Zack Ryder's dad, and Dolph. When we went to go use the bathroom, Arnold was in the back. They had Arnold come in during that, I think, because he was doing something for the Hall of Fame too, but recording his lines for Triple H's Terminator entrance. And so we were sitting in the room. We're like, oh, wait, do we go back out to the Hall of Fame right now, or do we hang out with Arnold in this room and just listen to Arnold doing the lines? And so we hung out with Arnold for a bit, and then we got the picture. And I think we did a little refill on the old alcohol, and we were back out there. But I always enjoyed the Hall of Fames. It was just always stressful from you have to go, like I was performing the next, always involved, always on WrestleMania. Like, you got to go out there and you know, you want to get a good night's rest. And this night was this was the night I got hammered. I've talked about this multiple times. Got hammered after the Hall of Fame. We went back to the bar. There's photos we posted of me, Dolph, Ryan Nemeth, and Hornswoggle. I'm hanging out with WWE office people, and Stacy and all these, and the different people that I always got along really well with in the WWE office, and just shit-faced. I black out. I don't remember anything. I missed the bus. I don't condone this. I was mentally already so checked out. They switched the finish on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where I was told I was going over. They informed me that night that they switched it to Big Show going over. I go, I don't care. Like, I really, at this point, like, okay, we filmed all this stuff with doing all these videos, that the build up for it. Great. That you guys want to switch the finish? Because I don't know if Show went and talked to Vince. I don't get involved in the fucking politics. Like, this is why I don't give a shit. It's physical acting, whatever. And I was already drunk, but it was all this kind of, it happened so many times. So missed the bus, didn't give a shit. I'm surprised I didn't stop a year earlier. And I remember that day, I'll never forget, I was angrily shaving my head. Me and Roman, I took a car with Roman because Roman was main eventing. So Roman was going to the building later. And they go, do you just want to take a car with Roman? I go, yeah, that's cool. So me and Roman take a car to WrestleMania. He's in the fucking main event. I'm in the fucking pre-show Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Like, just completely checked out. Shaving my head. I'm angrily shaving my head hungover in the bathroom there. I cut myself horribly. I'm bleeding profusely. So WrestleMania is backstage in San Francisco. So I'm walking around pissed off all day because I feel like shit. All this stuff is going on. I wanted to talk to Vince. Couldn't find Vince. And this building is huge. You had golf carts because it's so damn big walking around at WrestleMania. So I'm walking around with this wad of bloody tissue that's just completely drenched because I was bleeding bad, looking for the damn trainer's office, which I hadn't found it yet in the thing. Finally find the trainer's office. We have to like get Band-Aids on. I'm like just bleeding like a little bitch, just like from all the alcohol. I go to Vince. I find Vince and Grilla, have a talk with Vince about just stuff. I was already pissed on everything, pissed about just stuff in the company and this wasn't even the creative stuff, just bullshit with some of the people they employed there at the times. And we had our talk, and I told him some things, and Vince was always great on those things. And Vince goes like, we need to talk more. He goes, I like talking to you. And he goes, like, I would just tell him this shit, and I would talk to him about people that were there, and it's his company. But there's a lot that isn't aware of. And there's a lot of snakes in that fucking company in times. And like, it's bullshit. It's just what it is. It's the environment. And it was just stuff I never enjoyed on that. And I loved wrestling. I loved performing. I loved a lot of the guys, but there's just little stupid bullshit, pay bullshit. There's some things. And so that was the day, like, when we had a lot of talks over times, and I never was afraid. Guys, a lot of times you hear guys say they never talked to Vince. That was never, I literally would just go cut and fucking producers. Sometimes I didn't give a fuck. Like I wait out there sometimes for hours to talk to him when I had to. And like, I always feel like we got along on a lot of different things. But there was so much bullshit along the way. But that day was, it was, like I said, I wasn't proud of like missing the bus to go there. I wasn't, again, you get there so early. We already knew that the Battle Royal was, it wasn't like it was in what had I been involved in a different match, that would not have happened, but it didn't inhibit my performance or anything. It never did. Me and Cena used to main event, and we'd be doing table matches on the UK tours, and we had some stretches of some pretty decent drinking, a lot of the guys. And that's just what you do on those. And you go out there and you go kick ass, and you go do the sauna, you rehydrate, and you go out there like a machine, and you go perform. But that night was a really heavy night of drinking, and that was more of a I'm pissed off and I'm just going to have fun. And you're always under so much stress, and it wasn't something I did a lot, so it was, but that day is ingrained in my brain. I just remember waking up and just completely out of it, and just like, oh, I drank way too much. No, Vince never drank with Vince. I tell you what, that's something I don't think he at his age anymore. And he's an old man, right? He's not. I'm sure if you always hear stories, and as he's gotten older, he's at that age where I'm sure he's not. I'm not saying I don't know how much he drinks or doesn't drink, but I don't know. I don't see him going crazy at his age. I love both Bobby and Roman Reigns. What did I miss here? There were a lot of comments going on. Thank you for subbing, buddy. I did meet Ted DiBiase many, many times. He would come down to developmental. I believe Ted DiBiase witnessed me getting fake arrested in OVW when Cody Rhodes, Domino, Joey Mercury, the Cobra Kai, the group at the Al Snow's Halloween party, they dressed up as the Cobra Kai, and I was their number one target for the night. It was a hell of a night. You look back, I was always involved with things. It was a good time with all of that, whether you're on the receiving end of the jokes sometimes or dishing it out. But because we used to all hang out together and smoke down there in OVW a little bit and watch wrestling all night long. Like it was good times. And like I said, I never was a smoker, and then I started doing it with them, and that was my downfall. I can't function on this stuff. But we would watch wrestling for hours and just bullshit. And that's why I talk about, man, people don't know like the history of how you're connected to people. And it's that was such great times down there, though, on a lot of different ways. But Ted was down there a bit, and WWE, I saw him quite a bit. that we eat these. Yeah, no, Justin, I absolutely agree. We do have to watch the things that we consume, and we have to, knowledge is power, and we have to inform ourselves. And nobody's going to watch out for us, and it's just the way, it's the world we live in. And unfortunately, we're at a really pivotal time where a lot of people are really coming around and seeing what's really going on, and then there's going to be the people that are blind to it, and it's it is what it is. The all we could hope for. It's like, when I make, one of the fascinating things to me is, when I make the vegan post on Instagram, I'm always fascinated by the people that have no interest in it, right? That feel the need to click and then comment. And oftentimes a lot of these people will be blocked on it because I have no interest in anything. I'm not stopping. They don't understand, because they've not gone down this road, the ramifications of what consuming all these animal products are doing to the planet. It's not an individual choice anymore when we're talking about the planet. The planet is everybody's. We're destroying the planet, and our individual choices are doing that. So if you don't want to hear it, don't click on my post about it, because my job as being a good human being is to educate as much people on the stuff that I'm aware of right now, that I was playing a major part in before I altered my diet. And I had my reasons for health and looking into it and learning. And then when I saw what was going on and made that connection from a compassion standpoint, but even far past that, even from just a world standpoint of what we're actually doing and the destruction we are doing. And we are very, very close to, like, we have to make changes, right? So those posts are being done for people to wake up and go, oh my God, if Ryback can do it and he's thriving on it, I can do it too. Every person counts on this, and those posts are not going to stop. My thing is, but if you are against it, cool, keep being against it, man. You're not opening up your eyes. You're not looking into it. You don't see the big picture on it, and people will hold on to that thing of like, well, our ancestors ate meat. The majority of people, they plant-based. And at times they would eat animal, and they'd hunting and surviving. That's an entirely different thing. And by the way, they had no research showing that how bad for them that was over time, right? That we have this stuff now that shows that we actually can live a far better life away from that stuff. But there's levels to all this stuff. The majority of people, nobody hunts their fucking food as far as the masses. You have a portion, a very small portion with that, but we just can't, we were never meant to eat the amounts that we're eating. And I was talking to a friend the other day in her country. She said it was like a rare occasion they would get together, every week or every other week. And that would be their their meat meal or chicken meal. And then the rest of the week they wouldn't eat it. And like, there's all these different things. Like, we were never meant to consume what we're consuming, but we've just been, capitalism for bad, led down a very bad road. And, and you'll see the same arguments from people. Oh, it tastes so good. Oh, I love my nuggies. I love my nuggies. Yo, I can't give up my nuggies are fire. These nuggies be bussin', yo. Man, they're so far down the rabbit hole of not understanding what they've been conditioned to from the time of birth. But my goal is, again, to people, the ones that are intelligent enough to look at it and go, you know what, this makes sense. And, I'm going to look into this. At the very least, people are going to eat more vegetables and more fruits. They're going to get healthier one way or the other. So but it's educating people. Like, there's very few people consuming as much protein as me and is physical as me, right? So if I can do it, what's your excuse? And I tell you, in buying things and cooking food is far cheaper. Buying bags of beans and quinoa and lentils and vegetables, your grocery bill can actually be less than a lot of the processed foods that you're buying, and you'll feel way better. But a lot of people don't understand. They're so psychologically addicted, mentally addicted to the processed foods, of the massive amount of sodium and sugar that alters your brain and that gives that addicted feeling. They're so far gone that they don't understand. But I'm about to have my last meal. I'm going to have my pistachios. I'm doing, because I need the sodium. I talked about keeping my sodium between 4 and 6 grams with my activity level. way down from the 10, 12, 14 grams, but where the optimal levels. So I'm going to have my barbecue pistachios, and then I'm going to have 2 or 3 tomatoes with some pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm going to have 1 organic pickle with it and a handful of olives. And that will be my night meal on that. And I might even throw in a vegan Greek yogurt deal I have with that, because I've had a lot of protein in my other 3 meals for the day. But that food is so good now. Whereas, like, there's how many people tonight are going to eat processed food for that late snack, right? And it's just like there's levels to all this, and when you get away from that shit, food tastes way better. But you don't know it unless you just go all in. You got to let your body clear out, and then you'll be like, oh, Ryback wasn't lying to us again. Do I want a family someday? Well, I do have a family. As far as family is not just like having, like a wife and kids, but I do say yes in that, but I'm not entirely sold on bringing kids into this world. But that's one of the things I'm not against it either. And I think with the right person. Christina, thank you very much. Appreciate the passion, Ryback. Oh, the big guy's always preaching the passion. Bringing that intensity level 10. Yeah, Justin, wonderful. I believe that's the brand I use. I get them from Walgreens. Their barbecue pistachios blow your balls off every time. Big fan of the barbecue pistachios. Ryback, do horror movies scare you? The ones not like not the movies like Scream or like God, people are like, what's Scream? The David Arquette was in them. I'm trying to think. Like growing up, I think when I was younger, the Child's Play movie, the original 2. When I was a little younger, a little creepy. Freddy Krueger movies got me a little bit when I was younger. I had some nightmares about Freddy Krueger for a run. As an adult, no. But I do think like the movies more like on like the haunted houses or like with like what's the movie with that damn doll? What's that? The latest one, last few years, 4 years. There's that one movie with the doll where it's like you could like see like possibly you're like, oh, could that possibly be like a thing? But like the ones where the houses like where there's been a lot of deaths, and like Texas Chainsaw Massacre too. That movie was a little bit because it was based off of supposedly true events, right? That was pretty horrific. Oh, that guy would have a field day with me, hang my big meaty body, just leave me down in the attic, my meaty body just hanging there. Oh, I'd fight to the end. Shell shock his ass with gashes all in my body. Also, I think what's the other one? The movie on what are those movies on? They've done a bunch of them where the crazy people get killed in crazy ways. I know you guys. It'll come to me. No, not the Saw movies though. The original Saw movies were a bit, because that's believable. I'm trying to think of the what's the damn movie? Yeah, Final Destination. Thank you guys on Instagram. Instagram with the save. Final Destination movies. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like even today, driving home from the gym, there was a huge. I almost witnessed a crash. A car almost head on came out of the lane right in front of me. Thank God, because it might have hit me. The way that they were right by the intersection by me, and they literally missed by inches. They slammed on their brakes. It was, and then right after that, I'm driving to get on the freeway, and there's a big diesel fuel truck, and it's just so hot in Vegas. Like, oh, Like I just like speed by it as I'm getting by. I don't like driving by the fuel trucks. Damn, Final Destination screwed everything up for me. Those Final Destination movies, I don't like watching them either. I've seen a couple and I'm like, I'm good. I don't want to know. I don't want those thoughts in my head. Stuff with airplanes too. There was a movie with the airplane, like, and they had a show on TV for a while on like how airplanes crash. And I remember I was having drinks one night. This was while I think I was still in WWE or I was still traveling. Maybe it was right after I left doing indies those 2.5 years. And like, I remember I watched like a few episodes of they're like talking about like the section of the plane like fell off and like people got sucked out. And I go, well, shit, I don't want to watch this anymore. Oh man. Super chats coming in. Super sticker. Thank you, Audio Chance. Audio Chance with another super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. For protein on the plant-based diet, guys, things. So you got your red beans, pinto beans, black beans, navy beans. I got a big bowl of those. I measure them out. I believe about 113 grams is one serving. There's 10 grams of protein in that, about 25 grams of carbs. I'll have one serving of that a day with my morning performance meal. Typically, I'm using the plant-based meat a couple times a day. And those things are packed with protein, with pea protein. Also, my ISO Hungry plant-powered protein, and I'm doing a weight gainer thing for half a serving of that. Getting another with a scoop of natural peanut butter. That's another 90 grams of protein in that shake for me. Right there. My morning performance meals usually between 90 and 100 grams of protein with a little bit more carbs. A little bit of carbs from the weight gainer for the going into my workout. My next performance meal when I get back from the gym is very low carb, more green-based, kale, celery, parsley, cilantro, a little bit of red onion. Again, the plant-based meats to jack up that protein, and then nutritional yeast, hemp hearts, chia seeds. Those are used in the 2 performance meals as well to get the protein up. Very easy. And I'm consuming a high amount of protein, and my carbs are kept in check. I consume them at the right times. I can lower my carbs drastically if I want. On that is switching my morning carbs out with more greens that are lower in carbs. But I need a certain level of carbohydrates with the amount of activity and training that I'm doing to keep my size. So it's you just got to learn the foods, man. We got a lot of blogs on feedmemore.com on vegan diets, on the protein foods. I suggest checking that out under the nutrition section in the blogs on feedmemore.com. And I think it could really, really help you out. I love all the wake up unlimited energy flavors. It just depends on what your preference is. Everyone has their favorite. I've been doing mango now, the mango candy, for a good run. Pink lemonade, we're about to run out of stock on that actually. And that's going to be out of stock for a bit because they're behind. But the green apple and the mango candy, I just go back and forth. But like I'll go on stretches with pink lemonade. I'll go on a stretch with green apple. I mean, it's my company. I approve all this stuff. So I'm not like, I love the stuff when I approve it. I'm not like, oh man, this green apple sucks. Let's approve it. There are companies that do that. I don't do that. That's to say not everybody is gonna like every flavor either, you know? Yeah, Sam, I do like olive oil as well. I think, and I just learned from a friend, there's levels to the olive oil and getting certain olive oil. And I use it just with one meal a day and have about 1 to 2 servings with my morning performance meal. But I've been an olive oil fan for a long, long time. A good book on the plant-based diet is this book by my amigo Robert Cheek, The Plant-Based Athlete. There's a lot of great stuff in this book. There's a lot of different recipes for meals, and you'll see athletes thriving in stories from top-level athletes hitting their prime in their 40s. And people, this stuff is really, really good information. This is the book I'm going to recommend. And then what will happen is you get go look on Audible and look at vegan books. You just go down, you just start going down. You read one book, you find another, you get recommended another. You know, that's what we do. That's how you learn. I go through books like an asshole, guys. There's some I'm like, oh man, I wish I didn't buy that. But at the same time, I'm glad I bought it because I wouldn't have known if I didn't buy it. And then there's others where I just get a lot of value out of. And, you know, just go from book to book to book to book. And that's life. That's learning and applying. And that's given me more than anything. I've gotten so much more from self-learning and self-development than I ever did from school. And I always did well in school, but that shit doesn't the majority of the stuff they teach you doesn't apply to the real world. Certain positions, certain jobs, yes. School is very necessary, but for a lot of this stuff and moving forward, not necessary for a lot of people. T-moss. If that's anything, if that's like sea moss, I take sea moss. A lot of nutrients in that. It's like an Irish sea moss, and I don't know, as far as there's different products that will promote it as a testosterone boosting supplement. I haven't seen that research on that, and I don't know. But it is good just to take. It's very, very nutrient, a lot of packed with nutrients, minerals. Looking around here, what questions we have. Appreciate everybody checking by. Yeah, Sam, I'm a big fan of learning. I'll never, I've been that way the majority of my life is I like reading and learning about things I can use in the real world. If I'm going to, you know, I would rather watch a movie for entertainment than read a book if I'm going to do that. Yeah, Sammy, you can't do that, buddy. Pick one. Do I like Jurassic World? Yeah, I always enjoyed all the Jurassic Park movies. It's pretty scary when you think about it with their ability to clone things and what they're able to do. It's like you look at those movies and at the time you think they're so ridiculous. But I feel like more than ever, I go, nope, some asshole's going to make a damn dinosaur park someday. They're going to figure it out. We're going to have Terminators walking the streets. We're going to have dinosaurs getting out, terrorizing people all over again. It's going to be chaos. It's the movie Idiocracy. That's coming true. It's like there's a huge gap. There's people are getting smarter than ever, and then people are also getting dumber than ever. And the dumber is a huge portion more. So, but these smart people are going to do some dumb shit for money. And all the dumb people, oh, gee, I want to go see the dinosaurs. Look at that, honey. Look at that T-Rex. Guys, yes, of course I remember my time in Nexus because I was in Nexus. I'm in my 30s, guys. I'm not 78 and forgotten my entire damn life. Seeing what other questions we have here. Yeah, Sam, that actually would have. I always wanted to do longer stuff because I wrestled longer periods on live events all the time, and then TV and pay-per-views were always put shorter, and it always bothered me because I saw the reactions and felt them when we were allowed to go out there and put in ample time, and oftentimes even when I wasn't in the main event, which in the main events we put in a lot of time. During a lot of those different periods at various points. But I remember me and Rusev regularly getting much better reactions than their main event at the time they were running, and people letting us know, and it was regular on that, and that was because we were given time on live events, and because they knew we were going to give the people good ones, and that's not to say always. A lot of people tore it up on live events and stuff, and but then you just do whatever the role is, and they give you time, and cool. It is what it is. David, thank you. You're thinking about getting the protein. No, I don't know which one you're referring to. If you're talking about the plant-powered ISO Hungry Caramel Cookie, no bloating. And even if we have the fruity cereal still, that's the grass-fed way, which once that's out of stock, that's the last of it. We're done. The peanut butter pieces and the chocolate, those ran out of stock. We're never making the grass-fed way again. Even that, because I believe if it has lactose, it's extremely low. But I've never heard anyone on any of those having the bloating. The plant protein, not at all. The plant protein mixes a lot like whey as well. It's not thick and clumpy, and the only way it will be thicker is if I mix like 4 scoops in my shaker bottle, because it's just you putting in a lot of protein in that. But if I put 4 scoops in a blender, it mixes. It's super thin because I could use more water with that. But if you do 1 to 2 scoops in a shaker bottle, even 3, it's good. I use water, and it's not bad. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's Ryback Show. I appreciate all of you for joining me. And as always, check out Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. Save 20% with discount code Ryback Show. All right. Have a great night, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy wrestling if you're watching wrestling tonight. Probably catch a match or two. And got to do some more scar tissue work and make my final meal. And plan out the events for the following day. Have a good one and stay hungry. Feed me more.